Hey everyone, and welcome. My name is Elia, and I'm here with GameOverJesse today because we have a new series requested by all of you and our Patreon supporters. In fact, this list of Zelda theories was sent in by our amazing Patreon supporter, Jacob. You'll notice that some of these theories are incredibly bad, and others are very well thought out. So we're going to go through and explain and discuss how great or horrible they are. On our podcast, the Hylian Gamescast, we've had similar videos with all of our faces on camera. However, this time we will have the theory on screen for everyone to read along. And we definitely encourage you to give your thoughts on all of these theories in the comments, and we will discuss them with you. If you come across a list that you would like us to discuss, then by all means, please send it to us on our Twitter or Instagram. Links will be in the description. And if you want to guarantee your theory or list getting discussed, then you ought to check out the Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/GameOverJesse.
Number 5. Should be true. Gerudo reproduce with other races.
Theory confirmed. Number 4.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, this is what they wrote on thegamer.com. I don't think they're much of a gamer, at least not Zelda, because they made this list. Anyway, Gerudo are a nearly all-female race. So how do they keep having kids? Statistics shows that only one male Gerudo is born every 100 years.
It's not
It's
statistics,
a fact that
they
Gerudo
just tell you that.
Yeah. It's a fact that Gerudo can often be seen traveling and seeking out a mate. While the Gerudo are a rather isolated society and culture, we do see them travel to seek mates. We see this when bumping into them in Breath of the Wild, and Nibiru shows affection to Link during the Spirit Temple, showing that they have interest in men. Really? But how are their babies all just Gerudo? They all have the same traits. Not any mix of race can be seen. A theory is that the Gerudo work like the Asari from Mass Effect, and the Gerudo gene is just so dominant that that's how nearly all of the female race can reproduce effectively. Okay, people, this is logic. It literally says in Ocarina of Time that they go to Castle Town to seek mates. Just because they're mainly female does not, like, that's...
And I understand if you were Australian and you were playing that game, you just thought they were looking for friends. Oh, he's gonna just go and make some mates.
It's just so... and I always figured that too, that they just had like a dominant gene if you're gonna try and really decipher it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
And just because
it's like I have a friend
that
that my old dance teacher married someone who's Chinese. She's a ginger with blue eyes. All of her children look completely Asian.
Yeah, South Park.
They all look nothing like her.
So here's the funny thing too in this article. The picture it shows is Hudson and Ron standing together in Tarrytown, right? Here's the thing that's funny about that is when you meet Johnson, she tells you that she's out looking for a spouse, and then if you ask her why, she will explain to you that it's very rare for a male Gerudo to be born, and that for the as a necessity to their race, they have to go out seeking men. And so basically, this is not a should be true theory.
It's not even a theory.
It's just a thing that is in the game.
Yeah, it's not even a theory.
It's a random fact.
It's like if you were like, here's a theory that should be true. There should be flowers in Breath of the Wild. Should be true, right?
All right, Daniel, do you
There
want to go
just
to number
is.
4?
They're just in the game.
Number 4, Daniel.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I just hate this. Sorry. Number 4 should be true. Midna is the not secret. Midna is the second bearer of the Triforce of Wisdom. In Twilight Princess, Twilight Princess, Midna is a prominent character. Coming from the Twilight realm, Midna cannot stand light and hides in Link's shadow for the near entirety of the game. However, There's a part where she gets light blasted and gets light blasted. Okay, and she gets into a near-death state. Link
It was
brings Midna
Luigi.
to Princess Zelda, who heals her. But there's a theory that Zelda did more than that, as Midna looks at her hand, which is hidden from view, and says, "I've taken everything you had to give, though I did not want it." While many point out that Zelda may have just given Midna her light-filled soul to stay alive in the light realm, many also point out that Zelda got possessed by Ganondorf at the end of the game, and that may be because she gave Midna her only means of protection from Ganondorf, the Triforce. Okay, so everything that's wrong with this. Everything. There's no at no other point in the game do you see the Triforce mark in Midna's hand. So her just glancing at her hand is like that's the part of her body she can see.
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
Skull Kid. Like all
Yeah.
of the artwork, he's looking at his hand.
Yeah, and the only defense from Ganondorf would be like, what about all of her other magic and stuff? She's got the blood of a goddess in her.
Yep.
Also, I don't know, like just it just seems like a huge leap, like of conjecture, like just based on nothing.
Yeah.
Based on a character looking at their hand, which, by the way, Link looks at his hands a lot in the game. Did he get the Triforce from Zelda? I'm just he already had it,
Also-
but that's beside the point.
Ganon
Just-
has often made various different evil, dark shadow forms of Link, despite Link always having one of the Triforces as well.
Yep.
Touche as well.
And he freaking beats him in one version of Ocarina of Time. So,
Basically, this is just based on nothing.
cool
so.
thought, but
Yeah. If she would have looked at her hand and a Triforce was there,
Yes.
that would
then
have
yes. I don't think Nintendo was trying to hint at anything. I mean, a lot of our theories is just us coming up with stuff, but still.
Still, but I think the whole idea of that, and her like examine hand is the fact that she's out in Hyrule in the daylight and she's not affected by it, and she's like, oh damn, okay, like
Yeah, it's like Wolf Link. He's just like, I'm a
yeah,
wolf.
Wolf Link looks at his hands or paws. He's
Technically,
like,
yeah, he's always looking at his
I'm a
paws
dog.
because he's. It's like I'm a dog. Bork bork.
I'm a dog. Bork 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 bork. So,
Does this mean I have to eat nasty food?
yes, it does. Also, do you ever wonder when you're playing as Wolf Link that when he like bites an enemy, if it like tastes bad? Does he like retransform back into human version? And he's like, bah, bah. I can't believe I've done this.
Why'd you go British for that? I can't believe I've done this.
Because Link's just a big fan of Harry Potter.
He is. He is a big fan.
They both have.
I mean, I
worlds
combine
with
them a lot
wizards.
for my videos, but
Yeah.
well, actually, I've only done
What
like 2
videos,
like that.
Ilya?
Videos I make.
You make videos? Where can
Yes.
people find those if they
What's a video?
maybe wanted to watch one of your videos?
You could look up Ilya Rose on YouTube and subscribe. I'm almost to 1,000.
1,000.
Oh,
Which I'm
1,000
gonna do
YouTubes?
things for. If I hit 1,000, I will do things. Fun things. It got really quiet.
Yeah, sorry, I was just catching up on the chat here while you were plugging your channel here. Sorry, I apparently offended an sorry,
No,
guy.
Australian.
And I didn't mean to.
Just
And-
using stereotypes.
Just the joke presented itself. Then I
Yeah.
leapt on it. So
Doesn't Midna... I don't think people would mistake Midna for monsters. They literally have giant rock people that are walking
That's
around
true.
that could like crush
Yeah.
you with one hand. And if
That's
people
true.
aren't afraid of them, I don't think they would be afraid of like this little imp girl.
and yet they freak out at the sight of a dog.
A doggo.
A big dog, big
'Cause-
doggo comes into town. They're all like,
Except
"Ah!"
Agatha.
Like,
Agatha's
literal-
like, hello.
Literal, yeah, except for Agatha, like literal soul, like it's like it's just big doggo.
Like, people chill.
Yo, chill. He ain't doing anything. He's just a big He's just going.
All right.
number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Oh my gosh.
Confirmed reincarnations of the 3 wielders.
All
Alright, so this is one that was a theory a long time ago.
It was?
A long time ago, and then Skyward Sword confirmed it. So why
It was
Ganon?
kind of confirmed before that.
Yeah, what was it? Probably was.
Because I feel maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like there were
was.
games where they're like, you have the spirit of the hero.
Yeah.
And
Skyward
Yes, I
Sword
know.
just gave the origin for it.
Here's the thing, though, is I don't think it's literal reincarnation. Like, he's not the same literal
True.
person.
Because they're all
It's just that-
sons of the past Link.
No.
But that's what
No.
That's what
Like,
BuzzFeed told us.
No.
In the Wind Waker, the King of Red Lion specifically says to Jaboon that this Link has
Who?
0 connection.
Who?
Talking Dragon Boat Man
No,
says
say
to
the
Big
other
Fish,
name, 'cause it's a funny
Jaboon.
name. It's a funny name.
Jaboon. It's a funny name. Big Fish Man.
I just said it in the first video I narrated.
Big
Jaboon.
fish. Big fish. Anyway, so he says to Jaboon that Link in the Wind Waker has 0 connection to the Hero of Time, as to the previous Link. But he's like, but yeah, the kid's got some real head stabbing potential here that we think we can tap into.
It's
Just
a
got
dark game.
Whoever said this game was just for kids.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Alright.
It was too babyish of a game. Yes, tell that to the Link stabbing Ganondorf in the head.
Yeah, it was literally copied and pasted from the previous Zelda, except instead of a horizontal stab, it's a vertical stab. Instead
And
of
for some
Beast
reason, it looks
Ganon-
even far more painful because he's in humanoid form, not beast form.
Yeah.
true.
So they say, so why are Ganondorf, Zaldor, and Lunk in this constant battle? Well, reincarnation was a big theory that was eventually confirmed in the games and Hyrule
Kinda.
Historia. In the manga,
Zelda's not a reincarnation. That's a bloodline thing.
yeah.
But
In the manga,
Sorry.
in Hyrule Historia, it is confirmed that Zelda and Lunk are reincarnated while Hylia says that she will sacrifice her divinity to make sure that their sprites will endure through Team. Zelda is also a reincarnate of Hylia. Skyward Swordo confirms that Gunan is reincarnated because the Doman Kong, the
are
Donkey
you okay?
What is happening?
places a curse on her blood boats, in which he says that a part of him shall always arise when he wears floaties in the water.
Okay.
The only
Well, no.
consistency
What is happening?
is the Goonies and their bloodlines.
Okay. So with Zelda, it's a bloodline thing. So it's like his curse specifically says the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero. So Link, while not a literal reincarnation, if someone possesses the spirit of the hero, which I don't really know how that's passed on, but basically just like he has that. I don't know what the connection is, but it's not a literal reincarnation in that sense where the same person reborn, but just someone
Right.
who embodies the same spirit of the hero. And whereas Zelda, again, not a reincarnation, it's an ancestry thing. But people seem to conflate the two ideas and mix them and say that it's both somehow a reincarnation and their own ancestor, like you're just your own grandfather reborn somehow. Seems really weird to me. So it's kind of one on one side and one on the other side. But Ganondorf is only really reincarnated the one time in Four Swords Adventure.
Mm-hmm. The other times he just comes back.
At the time he's just the same guy coming back for
He
more.
keeps dying, they keep bringing
He's
him
like,
back, and it gets creepier and
I had a
creepier.
taste of that vanilla ice cream. I gotta come back and get some chocolate too while I'm at it.
All right, Ilya, do you have number 2?
Yes. So, okay. Number 2. Should it be true? The interlopers mentioned in Twilight Princess also created Majora's Mask. So, in an earlier, I mentioned, that doesn't make sense. In an earlier theory, I mentioned that the interlopers should be the ancient ones who are mentioned in Majora's Mask. Question mark. Why? Okay. I have a hair in my mouth. Okay. Okay, it's still there. Sorry.
You think you got the hair?
I can't get it out. Okay, I got it. I'm really sorry. That would mean it's possible that these interlopers created the mask in the first place. This meant the Twilight from Twilight Princess may have created Majora's Mask. This could even be part of why they were banished into the Twilight realm in the first place. The Twilight are known for their dark magic, which greatly connects to Majora's Mask, which in-game explained that it was once used for hexing rituals. There is also the uncanny resemblance between the eyes of Majora's Mask and the one of the eyes of the fused shadow forged by the interlopers that Midna wears a piece of. Some also say that Xant's odd moves remind them of Majora's Mask as well. I have heard this a million times, and I think it's really interesting, but I wonder where the fact that these are parallel worlds comes into play. I mean, I guess well, I was going to say the Happy Mask Salesman goes between the worlds, but I'm not sure he's a normal being. So.
It's true, but I mean, okay, so the Skull Kid we've seen in both Hyrule and Term. The Happy Mask Salesman we see crossover as well as Link.
True.
So I mean, it's
True.
possible that
Also,
he
technically,
brought Majora's
Icona
Mask
is
over from
technically
Hyrule.
outside of Termina.
That's true as well. Technically, it's its own kingdom. It's just a teeny one, like a bite-sized kingdom, like a Halloween fun-sized snack of a kingdom.
Yeah. Also, I was laughing not at the theory, but I was thinking about how Daniel called Smash Brothers Melee, and then I was thinking of like Waluigi.
That's how the announcer
Is it
in that game pronounces it.
Oh, well, I was
That
thinking.
must only be in the Canadian version.
Everyone says No, so many people say melee.
That's how I always pronounce it, but that's because how my brothers pronounced it.
Well, I was thinking
I don't know.
of a
I don't know
Waluigi
Smash,
version
so.
of that game. So instead of like Melee, I was thinking, what if it was Wheelie? Or like the first few letters of like Waluigi's name is like Waluigi. So like, what if it was Wee Louie? Like,
Are you okay?
so I was just laughing.
Are you
on
on something?
I was like, Super Smash Brothers Wee Louie.
Super Smash
Seffy Wolf.
Brothers.
Your thing about Termina, we
What?
have
That is wrong.
We have
I'm so
videos
sorry, Seffy, but
disproving
that is
that.
wrong.
yeah, we have videos on why that's wrong. Even
The encyclopedia is fan-made. It is not gospel.
and we even have interviews with the Aonuma who created Majora's Mask, who says that is wrong.
It really contradicts the game
It does.
as well, because there's scenes that are flashback scenes that take place in Termina before the game, before Skull Kid gets Majora's Mask. So if it was created by the Majora's Mask, it doesn't make sense. And then also at the end of the game, the power is stated to have left the mask. The power is gone, and yet they're still like standing around in Termina Field. It doesn't. I really like the encyclopedia, and there's some things in it that are really
Yeah.
neat head scratchers. Where I'm like, okay. Like the map stuff for Zelda 1 and A Link to the Past are kind of neat. But then there's other stuff, and specifically about Majora's Mask, where I'm like, okay, the thing is that goes against everything Nintendo's really said in the past. And also Hyrule Historia and Zelda Encyclopedia both say different things about Termina.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again,
And
they're
the
fan-made.
guidebook for Majora's Mask says a different thing about Termina, and the game says a different thing about Termina. So it's like, of all those things, I would rather take what is in the game as my canon rather than what's basically supplementary material.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for attending my TED Talk, everybody.
And you also have to
The
think
books are
about,
really cool, but they're not gospel.
Yeah.
For sure.
On like, they did have a lot of facts in the books, but then there's also like that 25% of stuff that's in the books that were they didn't have any
Filler.
actual facts, so they had to come up with their own stuff. And then Nintendo was just like, sure, let's do it. But there are interviews with Miyamoto and Aonuma like when Majora's Mask first released and when the 3D version released, where they say that Termina like always existed just like Hyrule did. It's just like I think in one of the interviews Miyamoto says it's a real physical location located beside Hyrule, and then
Parallel.
Aonuma said that it's like the opposite sides of a coin, to where you have like Hyrule and Hytopia and all of these places in the light world on like one side of the coin, and then the dark world, the Twilight Realm, which the dark world being there doesn't even make sense either, because the dark world was the sacred realm, which was technically a lighter version of the light world.
What?
The dark world. It became the dark world after Ganon touched the Triforce in the sacred realm.
Yeah.
Right.
So then it corrupted
Sorry, I
the
got
sacred
lost.
realm.
You know what is a dream? Link's Awakening.
But whose dream? And
Link's?
arguably, no. The Windfish's dream. I would sorry, spoilers for a game from a 25-year-old game. But the Phantom Hourglass dream as well. I think it's kind of hinted at that it's like basically a Link's Awakening moment as well. But then
Wait,
it's
Phantom
also kind of
Hourglass is
not.
a dream?
Kind of, but then also kind of not.
Yeah,
I think
because
it's more
there's
of a
people that are
Yeah.
in the
an
dream
overlap
world.
of worlds.
Yeah, there are people that
like-
exist in the dream world that have descendants in spirit tracks.
Yeah. So what I think is that there was like it's like a different world, and that's basically that crossed over. Because the whole game, at the end of the game, they're like, oh, only 10 minutes went by. And Link and Zelda are like, or Link and Tetra, they're like, the heck no. We just did all this crap and stuff. And then they're like, was it a dream? Did 10 minutes just go by? There's a giant whale. And then Lineback is like, I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
And it's like, oh, that makes little to no sense. So yes, the game is over now.
And
Also,
also,
Sephi, we didn't mean to like jump down your throat, but
Sorry.
we've heard it. So we were like, no, we must stop now. And to be fair, I was super confused when I first got the encyclopedia and read that myself. I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
And it had been such a long time since I had played Majora's Mask.
yeah, we
So
just
we didn't mean to jump at you.
we just like
No.
to correct these misunderstandings in the Zelda community, because there are a lot of videos where people talk about completely made up stuff.
Like the many people that I see
that think
in
Link is
videos
dead.
that talk about the timeline, and they're like, the adult timeline where Link stayed as an adult. And I'm like,
Like, well, he didn't stay as an adult because Wind Waker
because she sent him
happened.
back.
Yeah.
and
Or they're
The whole
like,
reason Wind
it's
Waker
the-
happens
it's
and the flood
adult
happens
timeline because
is because
Link's
he's
an
not
adult in
there.
Twilight Princess.
get out.
I didn't even hear what he said.
No, I said it. I was kind of joking about the people that are like, it's the adult timeline because in Twilight Princess, Link is an adult. And in Wind Waker, it's the child timeline because Link's a child.
That would be funny if they had actually gone that direction. Like, child timeline is all the child Links, but
That's the thing.
They
That's what
didn't.
I always joke about it and say that the adult timeline is the timeline where all the games link child. The child timeline is the one with Twilight Princess where
Yeah.
he's an adult.
But before we move
Oops.
on to the next thing, or really, I guess, when
Yes.
we discuss this, I want to
oh
say
my
about
gosh.
Link's Awakening. My thought is you have the three goddesses that created Hyrule, right?
Yeah.
And then you have
And they made bananas too.
yeah, and they also made the Sacred Realm to hold the Triforce, or maybe it was Hylia made the Sacred Realm. I forget, like if they retconned that in Skyward Sword. But anyways, you have that, and then you have the world of the Ocean King and Phantom Hourglass. That the three goddesses didn't necessarily create it. It was the Windfish. And that's why like the Windfish is the one that like rules over it, kind of like Hylia rules over Hyrule. And then you have Lorule, which I don't think is necessarily said how it came to be. It just existed with its own set of Triforce that was whatever created. Like, it doesn't say that it was created by the three goddesses. But you have all of these different worlds. Even like Subrosia and Hytopia, which are affiliated with the three goddesses. And then places like the Oracle games have their own versions of the goddesses, which are called the oracles, even though they're named after the goddesses. But there's all of the different games that have their own worlds, that some of which were created by the goddesses, but some of which were created by their own deities and whatever, and even lesser gods or lesser deities. In the Zelda universe, like the Great Deku Tree, created his own life and his own little mini world, which, like, he created the Koroks, the Kokiri, and like the Kokiri forest and everything. And then you have all of these other people like Ganon or Demise, who created their own demon tribe of like the bokoblins and stuff. So it's not just the three goddesses that can create life. The other people can create life as well. And even with the Kokiri or the Koroks, they say that the normal Hylians, a lot of them can't even see them. So to them, like, they don't even know that they're created, whatever. They just think like, oh, we've heard rumors of these forest kids or whatever, but they don't really know for sure. And then you have places like Link's Awakening or Phantom Hourglass that was created by these other deities or gods. And the way that I like to think about it, because there are certain characters that you see in those dream worlds that go on existing later on, that have like in Phantom Hourglass you have Daniel just said his name, I forgot.
Lineback?
Yeah, you have Lineback, who like,
Why I
Yes.
know that, I don't know.
He's a good guy.
I can
I
play
really
those.
like his. He's got a real Groose of an eye.
yeah. And then
I love Groose.
and then
He was
in
in my dream the other night.
Link's Awakening you have the who is it? I forgot her name, but she goes on living after you beat Link's Awakening. Like, she turns into the bird thing and like flies away or whatever.
Marin.
Yeah, Marin. So my thought is these different worlds aren't necessarily like dream worlds or non-existent. They are all real. It's just the way that they're created by these different beings. Like, you have the Windfish that created his own world, and then you have the three goddesses that created their own world. And just because different deities created their own worlds doesn't mean that one is any less real than another. Like, with Lorule and the Twilight Realm and the Dark World, you need these mirrors or portals or whatever to actually go to those worlds. Otherwise, you would never know they exist. And my thought is with like Link's Awakening and Phantom Hourglass, to where it's like a dream world. It's just that there is no portal or anything that we know of that can take us to those worlds. So the only way that they connect that we know of is when one of the deities fall asleep. And while they're dreaming or sleeping, that slowly like breaks down the barriers between those two worlds, and when the deity wakes back up, it separates the worlds again. And that explains why certain characters who only exist in those worlds can exist outside of those worlds, because they somehow manage to escape it while the barriers are broken down, which is also why Link is able to go into those worlds the same way that other characters can get out. So that's my thought, that like none of them are technically dream worlds or fake. It's just that the worlds come together while one character is dreaming, similar to how the portals or the mirror is the way that the Twilight Realm or the Dark World or Lorule is able to come together. But that's just my thoughts. Anyways, Ilya, what's number 2?
Isn't it number 1?
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
Daniel, what's number 1?
We're finally near the end. Well, number 1 says should be true. Skull Kids. Skull Kids in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are the same.
It is true.
Yeah, the game literally tells you it's the same one that you teach the song too.
Yeah.
He sniffs you and goes, haha, you smell like the kid from the forest. Did they play the games?
No. So the article says, it's widely believed throughout the Legend of Zelda fandom, which is a word I hate, that the Skull Kids in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are the same. Despite the belief, this has never been confirmed, so it's still only a theory, even though the game confirmed it.
Right, it's not a theory, because it's literally in the game.
There is strong evidence, such as in Majora's Mask, the Skull Kid seems to recognize Link. Okay, hang on a sec. The article just
Contradicted itself.
says it's never been confirmed, and then it quotes the line where it's confirmed. One point, he even tells Link he smells the same as the fairy kid who taught him that song in the woods. In Ocarina of Time, Link played Sarias, or Sarias, depending on how you want to pronounce words, because everyone hates how I pronounce words. Song to a Skull Kid. Link sells the Ocarina of Time Skull Kid a skull mask, which seems like more than a coincidence since the kid plays a major role in Majora's Mask as a mask thief. There's also a Skull Kid in Twilight Princess who knows Saria's song. Although that Skull Kid looks totally different. Anyways, I hate this article and this website.
It's not a confirmed theory, because it's not a theory, because it's just the truth. There's nothing to be confirmed.
Zelda
I love how
theory,
it's like,
there
it's
are
not
dogs
confirmed.
in Twilight Princess.
Ooh, that should be true. I love how it's like, this is a theory, but it's never been confirmed. And then they're like, here's the part of the game that confirms it. Who wrote
I think
this?
they misunderstand what a theory is because they probably would justify it as like, yeah, but we're showing like in-game evidence, like you would with any theory. I'm like, when you give in-game evidence for a theory, you say this suggests this thing, not this confirms it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's just funny.
Like, we all make mistakes, dude. We all do. But really? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, we're all at a loss for words at this point. We're all just like... They had a couple things in there that were cool that was like, oh yeah, no, that actually is a theory. Or things that are long dead, confirmed theories. It's like, okay, yeah, that was a theory.
That was
And then
a
there's
theory
this.
in 2002, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's stuff like this where you're like...
Time to jump out a window.
Like especially with the Gerudo mating with other races, I'm like,
God.
Why didn't you just put Gerudos have to mate in order to have children?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. How else would they, exist, for example? So, thanks, Jesse, for making us do this.
No, so the reason that I wanted to do it was because someone liked
Patreon, yeah.
someone liked that we did it before and it had been a while, and they had specifically sent this, and I guess
they wanted to hurt us.
I think they chose this one because they were like, oh my gosh, this is
They
horrible.
knew it would get us riled up.
Yeah.
Smart move. You're right. You're right.
Bad one.
Yeah. So if anyone else watching
yeah,
has one that they would like us to do next week, send a shorter one.
It's just unfortunate. There's so many websites and articles that are so samey and just so haphazard, poorly written attempts at list journalism, and it's just clickbaity trash content, and
like even when I was a
terrible.
casual Zelda player, I knew most of these would have been I would have read a lot of these and would have been like, that's not how I remember the game, and would have gone through it and been like, but especially now that I've been a lot more invested the past few years.
Do you ever get those articles pop up like suggested on your newsfeed or something, and it's like 20 facts about Zelda you didn't know, and then you scroll
You
through
know
and you're
all
like,
of them.
knew that, that's not true, that's not true at
The
all, knew
character
that.
commonly referred to as Zelda is actually the boy Link.
And you're like, whoa.
Despite
Anyways,
being raised as a Kokiri,
terrible.
Link is in fact Hylian.
So Angelo Johnson in the chat,
I hope they're joking.
I'm gonna need some kind of indication that this sarcasm
Sarcasm?
here.
I think that's
Please?
what Kappa means.
Is it? I don't know.
That's what HMK
What
told
is
me.
Kappa? I keep hearing that.
One day I
Seeing,
was
not
talking to
hearing.
HMK and he explained that Kappa meant like that you're being sarcastic because it's hard to read sarcasm in text, so people put Kappa.
You put JK.
Wow. Or do what I do.
And just don't.
Just don't. Or you just gotta run with it. Or just say something so absurd that you know it's a joke. I don't know. Like I told my coworkers the other day, they were planning a Christmas party. Okay, they were like, "Send us some music so we can put it on a playlist." And I said, "If Hey Ya by Outkast isn't on the playlist, I'm going to throw myself into open traffic." And then it was just dead silence in the group chat after that. And then I said, and then I was
I don't even know what this song is.
You don't know Hey Ya by Outkast? Oh no, our age difference is showing.
I don't even know stuff from my generation because a lot of it's crap. Because it's like Taylor Swift.
I only
No
listened to like
but
3
like Taylor
bands.
Swift.
One of which being the band that wrote the Donkey Kong rap.
Hey,
I remember all of us being like, they
what's
said
cooler than
hell.
being cool? Ice cold. No, nothing. Shake it like a
And then-
Polaroid picture. It's like a great song. Okay.
And then, so Polaroid, after the song came out, actually released a statement saying, "Do not shake Polaroid pictures
because
because
it burns the color.
yeah, because the picture needs to like."
You just have
set.
to leave it be.
Yeah. So basically, he's telling you to not dance, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, Zelda mailbag. Do you want to start it off, Daniel?
Yes. Are we doing a new intro? You want a new intro?
Yeah. Also, everyone
good,
in
I
the
can
chat,
close
if
the
you
tab.
would like your Zelda questions answered, this is where you comment your questions.
And this is
The
where
place
I
is
mute
here.
things so I can go to the bathroom real quick.
The time is now.
Keep for me while you're gone, because I gotta
Okay,
go
well,
too.
do you want to? You guys want to just? We can wait a moment before we start. I can wait till Ilya gets back.
No, like just
Just what? Just what? What, Jesse?
delete your YouTube.
Okay, I'll go do that. Hang on a sec. I'm just gonna. And YouTube, NSHG Films.
That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
start replying to people
Greg,
that
dude,
like
trash
comment
can.
something about a bad theory, or like a theory that's easily disproven wrong. In the comments of my videos, I'm just gonna be like, delete your YouTube.
No.
You don't deserve it.
Oh no. Oh no. It's bad.
Delete your Twitter.
Oh my goodness. That's just bad. That's bad marketing.
Daniel,
So,
did you get the wolf amiibo?
not yet.
Oh, Amanda, Patreon girl, is in the chat.
Zelda question.
The Zelda question
Okay,
is in fact
Amanda.
not a question.
Send your Zelda question, Amanda. We'll put it in the mailbag. It'll be the first one we answer. I guess while we're waiting for Ilya, do you want me to do the intro, Majuger? Do you want to do the intro? Do you want me to do? What do you want, Jesse?
You do it. And I'll
Okay.
look on Discord for more questions.
Okay. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to
I'm
the.
gonna use that.
Are you? Oh no.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like. And comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future.
And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.